massive shape glides just below the surface of Lake Champlain. In the skies over New Jersey and off the Maine coast, mysterious drones and objects zip at impossible speeds. And an 8-foot shark comes face to face with an even bigger monster. These are disturbing things captured on drone cameras. One of the strangest moments caught on a drone at Lake Champlain didn't happen during a scientific expedition. It happened while filmmakers were editing a movie. Director Richard Rossi and producer Kelly Tabor were working on post-production for their film Lucy and the Lake Monster, a fictional story about a young girl and her grandfather searching for the legendary creature of the lake, often named Champ. And while reviewing some aerial drone shots they'd filmed on the lake, they suddenly noticed something in the water. And it was something big. Just beneath the surface was a large, dark shape moving slowly below a boat. Rossi later said that when they spotted it during editing, they were stunned. They just sat there staring at this footage. They couldn't believe what they were seeing. Tabor argued that the shape appears to have fin-like movements, comparing the shape to something like a plesiosaur. But what do you all think? Back in 2021, a US military MQ-9 Reaper drone was flying near the Syrian-Jordan border when its targeting camera picked up something odd, to say the least, drifting through the air. The object doesn't look like any normal aircraft. In the thermal footage, it appears mushroom-shaped, with no wings, no propellers, no visible exhaust. For several seconds, it just glides slowly across the sky while the drone tracks it. The clip didn't become public until years later, when investigative journalists Jeremy Corbell and George Knapp released it, saying the video came from inside US military archives. When researchers started breaking down the footage frame by frame, the part that really caught people's attention was what happens next. The object suddenly shoots out of frame almost instantly. To get a better look, they slowed the footage down to about 5% of its original speed. Even slowed down that much though, the thing still disappears incredibly fast. One analyst pointed out something odd about the thermal sensor data. The object appears colder than the surrounding air, even during the moment it accelerates away. I mean, normally something moving that fast would be giving off heat, exhaust, some kind of visible trail, but not in this case. The Pentagon still categorizes this one as a UAP, unidentified anomalous phenomenon. Bull sharks are no joke. These things typically reach 7 to 8 feet in length, but in this drone footage, something absolutely dwarfs one. I love how the shark is swimming along all relaxed, spots the croc, and then immediately whips back around like, yeah, never mind. The video comes from a couple who were traveling through Western Australia's Kimberley region in November of 2020. They launched a drone over a muddy river, hoping to see what was swimming around below the surface, and they certainly accomplished that. Floating just under the surface was a massive crocodile, around 5 meters long or about 16 feet. And another scary part, people had been fishing and wading in the same water, completely unaware that both a bull shark and a giant crocodile were just feet away. Ever wanted to know what Gollum's POV was like falling into Mount Doom? Well, you are in luck. Here's a drone flying right into an erupting volcano. This footage comes from Danny McGee on YouTube, who was visiting Iceland when he decided to try capturing something people never get to see up close, if they want to live, that is, the inside of an active volcano. McGee glided his drone directly toward the crater while watching the live feed through his goggles. The video shows bubbling lava deep inside the volcano, glowing bright orange while bursts of molten rock explode upward from the crater. At first we watch as it circles above the lava, giving a pretty surreal view straight down into this giant boiling pit. But as McGee lowers it closer and closer, the eruption suddenly gets more violent. Bright orange droplets of lava shoot up into the air to start hitting the drone mid-flight. The camera spins as molten fragments hit the aircraft. For a few seconds, it looked like the drone was about to drop just straight into the crater, but somehow it managed to pull away. Obviously, not unscathed though. Some of the propellers have been shattered and partially melted by the lava. The only time clowns aren't scary are at the fair or the circus or birthday parties, places they're meant to be. Even that's a gamble sometimes though. Anywhere else, yeah, no thanks. So when this YouTuber known as Golden Hour decided to get some drone shots of a cornfield for an Instagram video and spotted a clown staring up at the camera, he was pretty unsettled. After hovering around the creepy clown for a few seconds, he abruptly takes off running. Probably weren't expecting to see a clown on this list, were you? I mean, what is this, the clown craze of 2016? Well, actually, yes. This footage comes from 2016, and for those too young to really remember, 2016 was a big year for creepy clown sightings. It all started that August in Greenville, South Carolina. People started spotting clowns hanging around the woods behind an apartment complex. Some claimed they were trying to lure kids with money. Once the stories hit social media, it went viral. Soon people all over the US and even in other countries were reporting these clowns hiding in fields, standing on roads at night, chasing people's cars. Some of the videos were clearly staged, but enough of it looked real that people were actually kind of freaked out. And then it got scarier. Some clowns were spotted carrying weapons. Police investigated, and a few people ended up getting arrested. By Halloween, the sightings had peaked and then kinda disappeared. Mostly it was teenagers pranking people, but for a couple months, it felt like any dark corner or empty field could be hiding some crazed dude in a clown outfit. This next farmer was not happy about being filmed by a drone, and he made it blatantly clear. This video was posted to the YouTube channel Green Blades, who was flying a small consumer drone over what looks like an English countryside farm. The scene is pretty picturesque, peaceful. You know, birds, open grass, but then out of nowhere, a man emerges and starts charging toward the drone, clearly furious that it's in the air above him. Then he raises a firearm and fires at the drone, sending it crashing toward the ground. About a year ago, a YouTuber named CJ Faison decided he wanted to see something for himself. See, for weeks, people around the New Jersey coast have been reporting drones appearing in the night sky, sometimes flying in groups, shooting across the horizon at crazy speeds. So instead of just watching from land, he went looking for them. CJ took a boat about 26 miles offshore into the Atlantic Ocean. He brought along a drone and a night vision camera, hoping he might catch whatever people had been seeing. And according to the footage he posted online, he did. In the video, the night sky over the ocean is filled with these blinking lights. Some appear to stay perfectly still, almost like they're hovering. Others slowly move across the sky. A few seem to blink in and out completely, vanishing and then reappearing somewhere else moments later. And every once in a while, one of the lights suddenly zips across the horizon at a speed that looks way faster than a normal drone. After uploading the video, CJ wrote in the description that these objects appeared to be, quote, drones flying in deliberate formations, and that they seemed to be coming in from over the ocean. Now, to be fair, drones are everywhere these days. They're more flying around than ever before, but the reason this situation caught attention is because of how often people were reporting these sightings. According to investigators, the Federal Bureau of Investigation had received around 5,000 reports involving mysterious drones, and roughly 100 of those had been labeled credible enough to investigate further. So far, though, we haven't gotten a clear explanation as to who was flying these things, where they were coming from, or what they were actually doing out over the Atlantic at night. And this last video was posted by Galactic_Narwhals on Reddit, who captured something strange moving above the ocean with his drone camera. Now keep your eyes peeled, cause it's not easy to spot. The footage comes from a DJI drone they'd picked up for work, but they'd been using it on the side to film ocean wildlife along the Maine coast. Narwhals said they'd only had the drone for about a month when they captured something they can't explain. Now, the clip shows a basketball-sized object skimming just above the water at insane speed. Frame by frame, estimates put it at 300 plus miles per hour, faster than a normal bird or consumer drone. Now, let's take a look slowed down and zoomed in, because again, the thing is very small. Now, that big black mass in the water, that's a school of fish, but do you see that small white speck flying over the water, right over the fish? It's about the size of a pixel. Galactic Narwhals said another almost identical object had flown over the same school about a minute earlier, but the clip they posted was the clearest. They ran the clip through analytical tools, including Croc and ChatGPT Pro, and both flagged it as behaving similarly to the Navy's Go Fast UAP videos, meaning no conventional or natural explanation fits. Now, as for what it is, who the heck knows? As always though, share your thoughts in the comments. I've been your host James, and I will catch you, yes you specifically, next time.